Hello everyone, welcome back to another very cool Framer tutorial. Today we are going to create this awesome looking 3D carousel which is interactive, completely interactive on drag. You can drag it and rotate it as you like. So without further ado, let's just get started. So here I have my artboard, and right next to it you will see this 3D look component which is done by Framer University. So you can always remix this file here. The link is in the description box. You'll find this component as it is, or you can also find it on Framer University. And this component basically helps us do that awesome, 3D carousel effect. So this is what we'll be using for this particular interaction. Now for this desktop screen, I'm turning on the layout and I'm setting the distribution to start. I'm going to add a frame in here, and it will automatically position it to the start of the page because we have done the settings for that. And I'm changing the height to somewhere around maybe, 900 pixels because I want like a big space here. And I'm changing the width to fill for this frame. Now this frame is going to be our main container. So I'm going to get rid of the fill in here. And I'm also giving my desktop screen a slightly darker background. Just some random color here. And I'm going to rename this layer, this frame, to main frame here. Now the setup is done. Let's go to the insert panel right here. Click on this and go all the way to media and add an image. Now this frame is what we're going to put inside the main frame, and we'll also turn on the layout for main frame here and set the distribution to center, just like this. And I'm going to select this frame here, image frame here, and I'm going to go to fill. We'll go to unsplash and type in the image that we want. I'm going to type it Paris in here because I want to sort of create a carousel for different cities. So Paris, and I'm just going to select an image that I like. Next thing what I'm going to do is just, resize the image slightly so that it looks more even. This is all just basic customization. And I'm also going to add a border radius of around 16 pixels. So once that is done, let's just rename this frame to image because this is our image container. And I'm also going to put this in a stack here. So we'll add a stack and we will call this stack as image1. Now quickly, let's just change the properties of the stack here by changing the width from fill to fit content so that it wraps the image properly. Now what we also have to do is we'll have to add some padding on the left side of the image because we would want to rotate it on an axis and we won't want the images to overlap. So for that, we want some space from one of the sides from where it will be rotating. So let's just add a padding of 24 pixels. All of this will make sense once you do this and you see the entire process. So this is the padding right here, and from on this axis on the left side, this is where the image will be rotating. Now, Framer recently launched 3D transforms, which lets you add 3D effects to your images. For example, in this case, let's just add some rotation, 3D rotation, and we'll see how the image can, rotate on y-axis and also on the x-axis. There's an option to do it on the z-axis as well. But for now, let's just bring that to 0. We'll do that later. Let's just fix the origin. We want the image to move on y-axis, just like here on the left side. So we'll set the origin for an x-axis as 0% and let y-axis be 50. Now that the origin is set and you rotate the image now, let's just quickly do it on the y-axis. You'll see how the origin is sort of set at one place. So now that carousel has a fixed point from where all the images will sort of branch out. So let's bring that to 0 for now. I'm going to go back to this image layer and duplicate it by pressing Command D. Let's just call it image2. And we're going to put this in a stack. So I'm going to select both these layers, image 1 and 2. Right click and add stack. I'm going to quickly change the width from fill to fit so that it wraps the image right. And let's just rename this stack to a container. This is basically your image container. So once that is done, you want image 2 to be on the same position as image 1 because we want it to rotate on the same axis. So for that, we'll have to change the position from relative to absolute. so that it sort of goes behind the image. And in here, what we're going to do is we'll notice that on changing the position to absolute for image 2, there has been a Z index that has been added here. So we'll go back to image 1 and we add Z index for image 1 as well. So both the images have a similar Z index. This ensures that your entire interaction that you're working on is not buggy and works smoothly. So we just add that. And now let's go to our parent stack, that is the container, and go to transform and turn on preserve 3D. Now this is a very important step because this ensures that whatever changes and 3D transformations you do in the child component sort of reflects by having them all on the same plane. So do turn on preserve 3D. And then I'm also going to add another rotation here. I'm just going to add a 3D rotation on x-axis around, some random rotation here by probably minus 34. And I'm also adding some perspective, maybe just 1200. Now this is not final. This is just for us to be able to see the kind of circle you may be making around the axis, so that's properly visible. So you can just put any number here. Now if you see, the axis is towards the left and the image, the circle that we make is going to shift towards the left when we finish it. To deal with that, we'll have to create a frame here and put it inside the same container. We'll also have to ensure that this frame that we have created has a similar height as that of the image. So we're going to let's just change the height from 481 pixels to maybe 480 because 481 looks slightly odd here. So I'm changing that for image 2 and also quickly for image 1. And once that is done, I'm going to select this frame again and I'm going to change the width and the height, and I'm going to make it similar to the actual image. That will be 480 and 300 here. So this is our spacer frame, and now you see how the axis on which the entire image will be rotating is in the center of the entire frame now. We have also removed the fill of the spacer frame, if you haven't noticed, and I'm also going to rename this to spacer very quickly. So once all of that is done, we will ensure the spacer frame doesn't create any problems. So we will select user select and pointer events and change both of these options to none. With that, we are good to move to the next step. That is to add the rotation to the image 2. Select image 2 here. Go to 3D transforms right here. Turn on 3D rotation and change the value on the y-axis to 40. So let's just quickly do that. So now you will see how it has rotated on the same axis right behind your image 1. And you have to ensure that the position is pinned to right and the value is set to 0. This will ensure that the image rotates properly. We're going to duplicate image 2 and change the value here again. Let's just change that to 80 degrees. I'm going to quickly keep copy-pasting these layers and follow the same procedure by changing the values on the y-axis in the multiples of 4. In total, I have 9 images, and now I'm going to quickly change each of these images by selecting them and going to Unsplash, writing the name of the city that I want, and repeating the process. With that, this looks awesome. It's all set. Now let's just go back to our parent frame, that is the container, and remove the rotation on the x-axis that we used as a guide here to sort of rotate the image on the y-axis. So we'll bring that down to 0. And we'll also remove the perspective here. So I did a simple mistake by changing that to 0. We can't do that. So we'll just remove the perspective by right-clicking it. So we have this image now. We have gotten rid of all the 3D transforms on the main container, so it's all flat. But we have gotten rid of that because we'll be using our 3D look component in order to sort of be able to add that 3D effect. Now, if you have noticed, I have put container inside another stack and I've called it 3D images. Now, I'm using this 3D images stack to create a component. So right click on this, create component, calling it 3D images and create. In here, I have container inside which I have all these images right under. And I'm going to select the container and I'm going to ensure a few things here. That is that the overflow settings should be set to visible for container as well as for desktop. So we'll have to ensure it's not to set to hidden but visible. And now I'm going to grab this 3D look component and I'm going to drop it right here. I'm copy pasting it here in this case. And I'm going to create another stack here, just like that. And I'm going to call it the 3D carousel. Now we will turn this 3D carousel into a component. So right click and create. Once that is done, I'm going to just select this and ensure that the height and the width for this is set to fit instead of fit. So we'll quickly change that. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to our home page. We're going to pick the 3D images component from here, 3D images, and we're going to copy it, go to assets, go back to 3D carousel and paste it right here. Now why we have done it this way is because we want this 3D look component to connect to 3D images. Now if you're wondering why we're doing so many steps here, it will all be clear in a bit. Just follow along the process. Let's just change the width here to fit content so that we get the entire 3D images frame inside the 3D look component, just like this. Now once we play it, we'll see how this sort of follows the cursor, but it's just slightly glitchy. We'll have to fix all of this. So let's just go back. I'm going to go to my 3D images component right here. And I'm going to write, we'll have to add the code override here. Now this code is available on the Framer University's website, to the link for which I've added in the description box. I'm getting the option to add it right here because I have already added it before. But in case you want to add it from scratch, what you can do is go to new file, select new override, name it something. For example, I'm just going to name it Carousel 2, create. I already have a pre-written code here, so I'm going to get rid of that. We'll switch to Framer University, copy the code from here and paste it just like this. We'll go back to 3D images and change this file to Carousel 2 and override to with preserve 3D. Now to see the magic, let's switch back to 3D Carousel and play it. And when you move the cursor, you'll see how you can, see the 3D view for this. But it's getting cut. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to ensure all these settings are set to, overflow settings are set to visible so that we don't face that problem. So now when you play it, you'll see how beautifully the entire, carousel is coming together. It's awesome. But if you see, it's just following my cursor and it's going on XY axis both. So for that, we'll have to adjust the properties that we get with the 3D look component. This component lets you add certain features in here. For example, dragging, you can set the rotation limit and the perspective. So let's just do that. We want the carousel to move on dragging, so we will enable that. We can also add different sort of transitions here. I'm going to let that be. And we can also change snapback from yes to no, or I'm going to let it be no here because I don't want it to snap to the original image every time. We can also set the rotation limit here. I'm going to set it for the x-axis. I'm going to change the max and min to 0 because I don't want the carousel to move on the x-axis. So we'll quickly change that to 0 and we won't touch the y-axis because we want it to move on the y-axis. And for perspective, it adds a certain amount of depth to your 3D object here. So I'm going to enable that. The deal with perspective is the lower the value, the stronger the effect is. So if you change it to somewhere around 500, you'll see how, distorted the image becomes. So I'm going to keep that to maybe 2000 because I don't want it to be too strong on the perspective. So yeah. So now is the best part. It's time for us to play and have a look at our final creation. So let's do that. I mean, I love how this interaction works. You drag it and you can just, rotate around this beautiful carousel of cities that we have created. Let's just go back to our home page. I'm going to remove this from here and place this in the center just like that and just play it. Well, I'm in love how this looks. It's super easily draggable and it's so interactive and it can just elevate your website so easily. I mean, it looks so complex to make, but it's really not. And that's the beauty of Framer, really. It just makes super complex looking things easily doable. You can always complete the section by adding a nice title to it. Like in my case, since these were cities, I added where you want to travel next. So yeah, that was it. I hope you found this helpful and learned something new today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.